Fox Across America host Jimmy Failla.
Boom! There he is.
I'm trying to do all-star wrestling, Jimmy. Thank you for joining us.
I was into that.
Good to see you.
I'm disappointed by the lack of pyrotechnics. I thought as you said my name, there would be some smoke cannons.
Behind you, we can get that next time you...
uncontrollably.
That's hot.
So like a snake.
My question is, are you shocked? Because the commissioner of the IRS, his name is Daniel Werfel. He also was the acting commissioner back in 2013 under the Obama administration. And before that, he worked for Obama as the OMB director.
Yeah.
So this is a left-winger now at the IRS, maybe paying a little retribution to those who push back on Dems?
This reads like the christening scene in The Godfather. You know when they're christening the baby, but everyone's getting whacked around the country? This is very strong-army. Yeah, it's a nice house you got here, Matt. It'd be a shame if somebody came along and audited this whole enterprise while you were blowing Twitter whistles. I have had a few of these IRS visits. I've been audited 3 times, by the way.
You have?
And I always like to bring this up when we have this conversation, because whenever they tell you they're not going after the little guy, I get audited twice as a cab driver, once as a comedian, okay? Where you're not exactly punting lobsters off the balcony, you know?
Wait, when you got audited, though, the first move is not them showing up at your house.
No, that's why this is such a strong arm move.
Right. So okay, go ahead. They don't show up.
You get audited, they send you a letter and say, we're looking into this and that, and it becomes a very, by the way, cordial and polite phone call. It does. In all of my experience of being audited, I actually had a good experience from the standpoint of we weren't in like a standoffish, plus I didn't have anything to hide. But in Taibbi's case, the implication of them showing up speaks to like, you do that to like El Chapo. Like this is a journalist.
So, Jimmy, I ran for Congress, and when I announced, I got audited. And then 3 of my supporters went to the 42-year incumbent who I was running against. I went to one of his town halls, and they asked him really tough questions. And all 3 of them, business owners, they all got audited within 45 days.
Total coincidence.
Yeah, total coincidence.
Total coincidence. I hate when that happens.
Now they want 87,000 new agents. Not to bring in more money, but to target conservatives.
Of course, really quick, because you know the deal. We're going to go after the rich. No, they're not. No. It's the middle class. We're the piñatas. If you hit us with a letter from the IRS, money flies out. If you hit the rich, an attorney flies out. An accountant flies out. We're the place they come to get their money.
You shake in your boots, too, when they come for you.
Yeah, for sure.
But this isn't even an audit. This is about 2 years of tax returns. Yeah. One of 2021, most recent year, was rejected. The IRS owes him a considerable amount of money. Even in that case, if the IRS is questioning part of a return, it sends you a letter.
Yeah.
This is harassment, and it's the weaponization of the IRS, which we've seen this movie before. You know why they did this? Because they can, and they know they will get away with it.
Yeah, they play it off like someone got the guy a Fitbit for Christmas, and he just wanted to get steps in. We're like, please, this is wrong.
Lois Lerner got away with it. Why wouldn't they think they can get away with it right now?
We still don't know why she took the 5th.
I know. Well, because she allegedly committed a crime, didn't want to perjure her, or didn't want to incriminate herself. But I want to get to this, Jimmy, because I want to go down memory lane for you.
Yeah, let's do this.
Remember when a delegate dismissed Taibbi's credibility when it comes to the Twitter files? Listen.
This isn't just a matter of what data was given to these so-called journalists before us now.
I'm not a so-called journalist. I've won the National Magazine Award, the I.F. Stone Award for Independent Journalism, and I've written 10 books, including 4 New York Times bestsellers.
The delegate's like, wait, what? What? You didn't tell me that.
Because their emotions are their facts. They throw out a buzzword like debunked or so-called. He's a so-called journalist like Babe Ruth is a so-called baseball player. Okay, he's obviously very established and accepted. He's in better shape than Babe Ruth, thankfully for him. Although that clearly had its advantages for the Babe.
Yes,
but this
did.
is how they denigrate any criticism. They either A, shake you down with the IRS, or B, just hit you with some garbage emotionalist vagary. So-called journalist.
Says the so-called congressperson.
Thank you.
She's a delegate.
Yeah, thank you.
The thing that chaps my ass about all of this.
No, I loved it. Go ahead.
Chafe, burns, nuts. Okay, it's 6:34. I can say chaps my ass.
I love that you went in like chaps was the issue, though.
Right.
Like shapes, scrapes. God, we love you. It's passion.
Because
it's real TV.
Matt Taibbi, people have a voice and will speak up for him. It's everybody else. Who doesn't have someone with a voice wearing a microphone who can stick up for him, who will be bankrupted by some like this.
I got to be honest, my ass is chapped, having heard that now. I hope you're
I'm
happy.
serious.
Okay. No more chapping on this segment. Jimmy Failla, thanks for joining us.
Would you look at the time?
We got to go, Jimmy.
Oh, you're not getting fired.
I'm kidding.
We got to